Hello, in this video I'm going to be showing you how to populate the data from the Spring Summative, whether you took the STAAR Released in Aware or the STAAR Interim in Cambium, into the growth template. To do that, we're going to start on Quick Views. If you teach one or more classes, you're pulling this data for your entire grade level or maybe for your entire department, when you're on Quick Views, first you're going to need to change your default access from All My Students, which will only show your rostered students and their actual assessment data. Switch it to Analyze Tests. That is the keyword to let you know that you're going to be pulling campus-wide data. The best way to find it is to filter by either district benchmark if you took the STAAR Released test in Aware, or come down and filter by interims. Click Apply. You can use other filters as you need in order to find your test more quickly. If you are a dual language teacher and your students tested in English and in Spanish, you're going to have to pull these tests one at a time in order to populate them into the template. Or if you are a department chair, for example, and you want to populate multiple grade levels or multiple content areas, you'll have to pull these tests one at a time. Once you get your test selected, you're going to change the drop-down menu, and you're going to be looking for the stars, the ones that say Panda Interim Growth if you took the interim test, or Panda STAAR Released Growth if you took the STAAR Released. So since I'm pulling a STAAR Released, I'm going to change it to this drop-down menu and press Apply. It's always best practice to switch it to the green arrow. After that, you're going to click Export to Excel. And open up the Excel that populates. Click Enable Editing. Now, one thing that I want to point out, if your testing courses are not popping up, or your sections, for example, on this assessment here, I don't see testing instructor, section, or testing course, then you need to wait until the following Monday in order for Aware to catch up. Otherwise, the data template will not populate correctly. Once you've got your data open, you're going to select, starting at the first student all the way over to the end of the rows, and then drag it all the way down. Make sure that you are not selecting the headers at the top. Then you're going to copy that and come to the data table. And what you need to do is make sure you're on the correct tab. I'm on RLA student list since this is an RLA test. If I was on populating math data, I would come to the math student list. And then you're going to find cell C3 underneath the student name, and you can paste the data there. The next step to do is make sure that you select which test type your students took, either STAAR Released or Interim. To do that, you're going to notice all of the color coding for growth populating. You're going to see then whatever the student's percent score was if they took the STAAR Released, or whatever their scale score was for the interim assessment, as well as their performance level. Then if you need to populate another test, for example the Spanish test for my students, or if you're populating another grade level for this content area, you're going to click back here on Quick Views. That will show you all of your filtered list so that I can switch to another grade level or maybe the Spanish version of the test. Make sure you're still on the same quick view, Panda STAAR Released Growth or Interim if you're taking the interim. Click Apply, and then all of my data is going to populate there. I can export it to Excel again. Open that file. Enable Editing. Select all data. Copy it. Scroll to the bottom of the student data. Paste it. One thing only for RLA to note, and if you are at a dual language campus, by default the tested language is going to show up as English. For any of your dual language testers who tested the Spanish test, you need to manually switch the first student to Spanish because they have different performance levels. Then you can hover over the bottom corner. When you get that black plus sign, drag it down for all of your Spanish testers. You may have a few, one or two students who didn't have, who had maybe tested this week, and so therefore they're not going to have a course, and you're going to need to set that course that they took, whatever test they took, in order for growth to be measured and calculated. The final step in populating data into the growth template is to use the built-in sort function so that students are sorted by their teacher and their group number. To do that, we're going to start in the first row with data, row 3, drag it all the way across to select all of that data, and drag it all the way down in order to select all students. Then, once you have it all selected, we're going to click Sort and Custom Sort. You're going to want to make sure you uncheck the box, My Data Has Headers, otherwise your first row of student data will not be sorted. Once you do that, you can press OK, and the data is sorted first by the testing instructor, so it's grouping all of the students' data by their teacher, and then by the testing section. So if I'm a departmentalized elementary school teacher, I'm going to see all of my different rotations together, or if I'm a secondary teacher, I'll see my different class periods together. And then it's sorting it by group number, which is going to be really important when you watch the next video about how to read the different growth templates.